right. So, Dad, you're working on a new ship, huh?
Good morning. Yes, this is the USS Essex. It is one of the 7 ships that the Congress approved. At the end of the Revolutionary War, the Navy was totally disbanded. But then the Muslim pirates in the Mediterranean Ocean started raiding American ships. And so we commissioned 7 of these frigates to be built to go fight in the particular sea battles that they were having. 4 of them were actually built. One of them was the Essex. The idea was that the money raised for these things was not government money, that actually these were built by private contributions from the citizens. So anyhow, this ship ended up, after going to the Mediterranean and fighting, it went around the Cape Horn into the Pacific Ocean. And during the 1812 war, they attacked the British whaling fleet that was in the Pacific Ocean. So that was their contribution to the 1812. So anyhow, this is a model of that ship. It's called a bulkhead and plank construction. Now these individual pieces here are the bulkheads. It is equivalent to where the ribs would be, and this is the railings that goes up to that. So at this point, this is the deck, and it's called the gun deck, the elevation for that. The keel is this strip right here. The rest of this going up is what they call former, strictly for model building. It helps form the ship, and these bulkheads are hooked to it. Now I have a sheet here. This is how the bulkheads came to us. Now you can see the silhouette. This is the negative effect of it. Each one of them had a slot going up the middle, which went down over the filler. And then there's 2 notches that were on each side of this. And if you lined everything up exactly right, and it's very difficult to get it perfect, each one of these pieces must be equal to this board. Can't be high or low. I found out the hard way on the Constitution I built that if you don't get it exact, you have trouble forever. And if that works out, you can take a piece of 1/4-inch wood and actually run it right up through the entire ship on both sides of the former. That gives us a tremendous amount of strength.
And did you do that? That's what that piece of wood was? Okay.
Yes. And I got it on both. You can see down through here, you can see
the
1/4-inch on both sides in those notches.
And you made the jig, right?
I made the jig. I saved $40 on the jig. So now, after you have put the bulkheads on the former, the next thing to do is to have this first strip of wood that goes along here. It has to be exactly level with the gun deck. The way you accomplish that is to go in there and lay a piece of wood across a couple pieces of that way, and that gives you the exact location of this thing all the way around. To get the curvature on the bow, that's a simple compound. We use a heating iron with this, and you get it wet, and then you get it curved. There's one here already done, and that is laid in like that then, and then glued in place.
Oh, interesting.
The other thing that you do in preparation is to develop the spacing for the gunports. This is the sill, and then this is the header for what would be the gunports. This is the gunport right here. It's 3/8 of an inch wide and 17/16 of an inch across. And so you have to exactly measure that. So I built a jig so that you could fit that. So each one of these is a gun port going down here, and each one of them is 3/8 by 7/16. After that is done, and then you shape it down and sand it smooth. Then you're ready then to go up further, what you call you planking upward. Now this is a very simple angle right here. It is straight all the way across, and you can get that going up. But going down on this, you have compound angles. And so you can't go down with that, because not only you curve this way, but it also curves up and down. They have books written on how to do the planking on a ship. Almost everybody in the business of marble making end up doing it their own way. The Constitution had very detailed instructions on how to plank that, and I found that I ended up planking it myself. So now, after you get this all done, and you've put this first plank down, then I turned it around the other side here. Here was that first plank, and you built up to the bottom of the gun sill, which should be about 4 planks, and then you fill in between each one of those gun ports with this, and then go on all the way up to the top of the railing. And so these are the gun ports for the gun deck, and these are the gun ports for the upper deck. Now this, again, we'll turn this around, and this will lay in there like that. I'll go back. This is what we did here, all the way up. Now you see a little bit of roughness on it, but this will all be sanded down, and so it'll just as smooth as can be.
Hang on, let me. Yeah, we'll take that off. You can. So you're going to be painting.
Oh yeah, it'll be painted, and also from about here on down, it will be copper.
Oh, just like the picture here.
That's right.
I like the colors in this.
Now they suggest on the copper, you take the long strips of copper roll that you have and cut it in 5/8 inch pieces, and then glue them each one individually. I found much more practical to have the full strip of copper going down where you want it, and then to make a tool to indent it every 5/8 of an inch, and it gives you just as good a look, and 10 times easier. So anyhow, this is how this was done, and glued in the place. Go on up.
Very good.
Now, the next step, also then on the inside, you do the same kind of planking on the inside above the gun deck as you have on the outside.
Wait a minute. What happened to the 2 holes that were together? And now there's only 1 hole on this side.
I just laid that up there like that for you. Is that what you
Yeah, but
mean?
what was the point of the 3/8 and the 7/16 holes here?
That's your gun ports. That's where your guns stick out.
Yeah, but there's only.
There's a gun sticks out every one of these ports.
Yeah, but there's 2 close together, and
Well,
you come over here and one's missing.
No, this matches up with that. This matches up with that.
Okay.
No, they match.
All right. I don't understand, but that's okay.
Okay. Now, the next step on the thing, after you've done the planking on the inside, this kit provides what they call a fake deck that lays here and here like this. Now, the Constitution does not have that. Another way to do it is to simply take the planking that you would have for the deck and you glue it right down to the bulkheads. This one suggests you putting this down so that you got a stronger base upon to put. And there's 2 pieces there that covers the entire base.
And then you still put the
And then
skinny
you
planking.
put the planking down
Okay.
on top of it, yes, for strength.
Wow.
So that's putting together the body of it.
Very good. Maybe we'll have another episode of this one.
Yeah, maybe when we get it all, when we get the bottom done, there's a tremendous amount that goes up on top, obviously.
Very good.
Anyhow,
All right.
that's it, dear.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, thank you.